So here we go, January 5th, 2020. We've got 5 days under our belt out of this decade now, guys. If you remember, all the way back 2 months ago was my last video on here, and that's depressing because in that video, I was talking about how I was just gonna start here and make a point to just basically document how things were going. Considering that was my last video, I did not make that happen. There's several reasons, all of them are excuses. One of the things I've done the past 2 months, just to catch you guys up a little bit, is I consolidated some of the things that I've been trying to do under different categories, if you will. So the fitness and the photography and the traveling and the wellness, and spiritual stuff, the yoga, minimalism, trying to be a better human being to the planet and just in general to other people, vegan, all that stuff. So I understand that at first glance it probably doesn't sound like that can be encompassed under one moniker, but that's what I'm doing. And the reason I think I didn't do that at first is because it just seems like a lot, and it doesn't seem like a really tight niche. And to visualize who your market is when you have all of that is a bit tough, because the people that are into yoga aren't necessarily into photography, and the people that are into calisthenics aren't necessarily into minimalism. You know what I mean? So like they could be just various people, and it's hard to really visualize who you're targeting and who you're trying to help in those situations. But I realized that I could do it because the way I'm targeting all this stuff is by turning all of that into focusing on what I call your true north. And if you know me at all or follow me online or whatever it is at all in the past couple years, you'll know that I have this saying that it's follow your true north. And what that means is to follow where you feel you're most at home or most passionate, or where you personally want to go, not necessarily where society, if you will, is trying to navigate you towards. So I have another, like this little saying, it's through wind and waves we stay the course. And that means a lot to me, because when you live a life that a lot of people don't understand, and I'm not trying to make this sound dramatic or anything like that, but when you live a life, when you make these sacrifices that most people think are insane, like leaving your salaried manager position to uproot basically your entire life, leave all your friends and family behind and go do something, that's a little bit unheard of. Or if you decide to buy a school bus and live in it for a little bit, that's a little unheard of. Not necessarily unheard of, but people like how many people do you know that do that? Of course, more and more people these days are doing it, but like that's definitely not the status quo. So when you do that, even if you're not doing those things that are that extreme, even if you're like, your dad wants you to go be a doctor because he's been a doctor and his dad was a doctor and you get the point, and you want to be an artist, you want to go play violin, like you should go play violin. And that's what this whole thing's about. It's not necessarily about calisthenics or fitness or minimalism or veganism or whatever it is. It's about staying true to who you are, staying true to yourself, staying the course through no matter what happens, whatever weather, whatever your parents say, whatever your friends say. It's about staying true to who you are. So I decided to encompass everything under that name, and I made it a legit business now. And it makes me feel really good to have be a for real business owner instead of just moonlighting or having a side hustle or whatever. I've incorporated not only just photography in this, but one of my main income sources, if not, well, it's actually the main income source right now, is graphic design. While I'm not 100% passionate about creating branding and stuff for other people, it makes me feel good to help others feel good about themselves, to help others become their greatest versions of themselves, which in turn is what all this is about anyway. Plus, I'm not too bad at it. So it only makes sense that that is a readily available skill that I have to monetize this situation. So I'm able to invest this money that I'm making into other projects that are more sustainable and a little more automated for myself. So I'm able to live that life of freedom. So another thing that I understand is that I could spend my time working a job that I don't like and having to stay put and having to do these things that I don't like, or I can work doing something that makes me feel better, 100% passionate about what I'm doing for other people. And so it is a step in the right direction for me. And I think that's a huge learning, a huge lesson that I have learned lately, is that, you know, you have to take steps. You can't run a marathon in one big jump. And one of the things that I've realized is that, you know, while it's not 100%, I've been waiting for things that are like 100% what I want to do. And that's just, again, you don't run a marathon in one big jump. And so when you're going from a life of the status quo, you realize that, like, okay, that's a big difference from what I actually do want. So you kind of have to take steps. You can't just leap into something I've built over the past few years. And I sometimes I think it's so slow and that it's not going well and all these things. But like, if I look back 5 years ago on this journey and I look at myself today, I realize really how far I've actually come. And it feels really, really cool to know that all of these baby steps have added up. And I didn't see it every day, and I didn't necessarily take those steps every day. And some days I went really far back. I fell back a lot, but I kept going, you know. And I'm nowhere near where I thought I'd be or where I think I should be or any of that. But the fact of the matter is that I get up, and week after week I have made progress, and that feels pretty awesome. With this account and this channel and my whole presence online and the reason for my business, because there's a reason you start a business, right? And it's to make money. And I believe there's reasons that you want that money and that what you're going to do with that money and stuff. And the reason that I want to make money with this all is so I can invest more of myself, more resources, more time, more energy into helping more and more people. And being able to live the life I truly want to live, I'm going to need to make money. That's just how it is. I want to travel more. I want to see more. I want to meet more people. I want to, like I said, I want to see more history. I want to see more just landmarks and just experience more so I can share more with you guys. That's honestly it. And in order to do that, I need money. So you'll see over the next couple of weeks things transpiring. I also started so this one's more fun, but that was one of the goals in for my quote unquote New Year's resolution, even though I've started it a month ago or so. But one of the things that I decided to do was have more fun. I work constantly, and I don't think that's healthy. It's not sustainable. And I could work literally 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and still think I'm not good enough or I didn't do enough or whatever. I'm pretty sure that was song lyrics, but whatever. So I decided to start an account. And I know I just said that I consolidated a lot of my accounts and stuff, but I just started an account, and it's a fun account. I'm not gonna share it just yet. I'll share it next week, maybe the week after. We'll see how it goes. But I just started it, so it's not where I want it to be yet, but I'm still building out the framework of it and some things I'm gonna do with it. And it's fun. It's definitely fun. And I've figured out a few ways to monetize it even. So that's fun too. And even if it doesn't make a ton of money or whatever, it's still gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm really excited about it. It's in a really good market. It's in a really good niche. And I think, I know it can be a big deal, but there's a lot of work involved in it. So but again, I'm not one of those guys that are saying, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, because clearly my last video, I'm gonna keep you guys updated, and that was 2 months ago. So we're not gonna play that game. So you'll just see after I've done it, you'll see I'll link you guys to it, don't worry. But that's really the updates. Hopefully that this video wasn't too long, is because it's literally Sunday. I promised myself earlier a couple weeks ago that I would upload starting at the first of the year when things calm down for me a bit, every Sunday. So here we are, even though it's just makeshift, and we'll take this 1 week at a time. I appreciate the love and support, and we'll talk to you guys soon. I'm just rambling now, but hope you guys have a great day. We'll get back into the cinematics and stuff soon, but for now we're just gonna cut it here. Love you guys. Peace.